Hello! Okay, I really needed to chat because it is the last day of October and therefore the last day of Spooktober, which is always like a little sad. I love Halloween. I love this month. This is my favorite month ever just because it's Halloween month. Okay, so I've been going through and I've been editing my cozy fantasy, and it's very unfortunate because I've reached a point where I think the ending is not what I want it to be, but I don't really know how to fix it, which is really unfortunate. I don't know how to connect the ending to the emotional arc of the character, and I don't really have a plan for that basically. And so I think what I need to do, I need to let it rest for a little bit to really get back to it and hopefully reread it maybe, or just think about it. Sometimes it takes me a while to really think about the ending or things that need to be fixed, and I think that's the point that I'm in right now, where I just really need to I need to think about it a bit more to really discover the ending that will work best for this. And I don't even know if the root of the ending is gonna change, right? If the base things that happen are gonna change as much as details need to change. And I think that's where I'm at with it right now, and I'm not really sure how to do that. I think after today, once I'm gonna type everything up, we got to chapter 7. We made it a little bit of the way through chapter 7, which I'm really pleased with. I almost finished it this month, which is really exciting. But the goal now is basically just going to be going through and typing up all the 7 chapters. That's my only goal for today. Sometimes I get really down on my ideas and on my story and on my writing, and then I type it up and I'm like, oh, it's not really that bad. It's not bad at all. And it gets me more into it because I get to read it and kind of enjoy it again, which is always nice. So that's where we're at right now. I'm trying to figure out why editing this story has been so much more difficult than any other story I've ever written, which maybe this is just how it happens sometimes, right? But my other story, the editing was really fun. It was difficult at the beginning because I made a lot of mistakes, but even then it wasn't that difficult. I thought the plans I had were really good. I thought it led up to the ending really nicely, and even though there are still currently issues in it, and most of those issues are at the beginning, it's in such a better place now that I feel really confident about it. But this one has been really difficult. I think part of that is I don't think the ending is as solid. A lot of the things that happen within the story are not based off of the emotional progression of the characters. Whereas for my other story, the point was the emotional progression of the characters. And so that's kind of because this was just meant to be a cozy, fun little thing. And so it doesn't have the same amount of drama. It was kind of just oh, let's just have people being cute. It was also planned to be a lot shorter than it is. It was planned to probably only be 5,000 words, and it's ended up being 13,000, and then now currently I think it's going to end up being around 20,000. So it's kind of just been expanding and expanding, and I think that's more difficult for me than to just come into it with a plan and just go forward with it. Which, it's so weird because I tend to lean more towards pantsing in general, right? I do plan stuff, and I do pant stuff, but I tend to lean more towards pantsing. I'm right? If this is the scale, planning, pantsing, then I would probably be about here, right? This is such a bad idea. But I do like having plans. I just can't be too exact. I think what I'm realizing is I need some idea of what the characters are healing from, of what they're growing from, right? Anyways, that's it. That's enough of my rambles. I will come back once I type it up, let you know if I've come to any realizations on how to solve sort of the ending issues that I have. Okay. Okay, distraction. Anyways, okay. Hello, it's me again. Gosh, I have a hat on, which is how you can tell I'm just like really exhausted. I'm so tired. But I wanted to do an update. I wanted to let you know sort of what's been going on in the whole Spooktober thing. It's officially over. It's November 1st. So technically it's done. But I am still working on it. I haven't actually typed everything up. I typed up about 1,000 words, but that's only like 3 pages. So I have so much to type up. I probably have like, I would say at least 5,000, probably more like 8,000 words to type up. So wish me luck. I was going through it, and even though I only typed up like 1,000 words, I went and I kind of like thought about it overnight. I was thinking about it, and you know, I don't think the ending is as bad as I was thinking it was. I think the pacing is off. I think the main issue is that the pacing is really off. There's a lot of moments where they're kind of just sitting and doing nothing, even though like the tension is kind of like, and it needs to go faster. So I think I'm going to be deleting like a whole bunch of stuff over the second half of the like story, well, like the last third of the story. I'm gonna be deleting a whole bunch of stuff. When I was reading it, I was like skimming through a lot of parts just because it was taking a lot of time to get to like the point where things happen. There wasn't any progression of the character arcs, anything like super interesting happening. Once I get to the fight scenes, because there is a fight scene, it's going to like, I was reading through it and I was like, oh, this would be such a better way of doing this. This would be such a better way of doing this. I've gotten a lot better at fight scenes since I first wrote this fight scene, so I'm really excited to see like, you know, how it changes as we go ahead. But I'm really pleased with it, so yay. It feels so much more like a proper novella now. Like, it's really beginning to like take shape, you know? Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to finish this out. Hello, I'm back. I put on some silly makeup, so don't look too closely at it. Yeah, so I typed up everything from Spooktober. Everything's typed up. It is currently at 18,000 words, so woo! Yeah, so that's pretty cool, and I only have about 13 pages left, and a lot of the second half is going to be just like cutting Full Sail scenes. So like, it'll probably go through pretty quickly. It's kind of sad to be deleting all of it, but like, it's not like, it's not adding anything. It's like slowing the pace too much. So away it goes. One of the things I'm noticing, like when I typed it up, I wasn't feeling great either because I wasn't feeling good yesterday either, which is unfortunate. But when I typed it up, I didn't do any like edits to it, which normally is what I do when I type up stuff I have by hand. And because I couldn't like function, like I couldn't read it and be like, oh, does this conversation make sense? Does the emotional like progression through this scene make sense? I just was incapable of really like analyzing that while also typing it up. So it's really rough. It feels very rough, like the stuff that I typed up yesterday, and that's okay. It's a shame because it's like a second draft, and also someone is gonna read it, and that's kind of slightly unfortunate, but it might not be as bad as I think it is, or as bad as I feel it is, because it's not that I think it's bad, because I don't really, but it's definitely feeling a bit odd to me right now. So yeah, I only have 13 pages left, so my only goal today, just finish it, just get it done. I just want to get through with the whole like, yeah, I just want to get through with the Spooktober editing and, you know, move on to like one of my other projects where hopefully I'll feel a bit better. It feels like I always, whenever I get to the climactic scenes of a story, I always really want to get through it quickly because like I feel close to the end, but also if I'm doing a climax right, like you get this sort of like sense of being propelled through the story, of like feeling like you're getting closer and closer to some sort of resolution. And this doesn't necessarily have that, but I think it's getting more of that shape now. But I feel very propelled to finish it. I'm like, I must complete it. I feel a deep need. When I edited the underground, the like climactic portion of the underground, I think I edited like 50 pages in one day. Like I was obsessive about that thing. So I think it's definitely possible for me to get 13 done, even though it's like, they're kind of harder edits, which is, you know, part of life, but it should be fun. I might come back and give you a little bit of an update about when I finish. Please, I'm really hoping I finish tonight, but I have like a whole bunch of time. I just need to eat a couple and then like maybe take my cough on an adventure, my dog on an adventure. But yeah, okay, so I'll see you later and have a wonderful weekend, you know? Hi. I returned, so oh my gosh, I did it. I finished it. I finished editing it, so that's really exciting. So all I have to do now is like type it up and then I'm just done. I've completed the second draft of this novella, which is just really exciting. I was starting to get kind of like concerned and down on it. I thought it was gonna take me longer, but once I got past some of the like rougher parts of the story, it got a lot easier to edit, so that's awesome. So yay, it's done, it's done. Okay, I mean, that's all I really wanted to say. I just wanted to be happy about it. The ending scene was so cute. I was reading through, I was like, I'm not gonna change much of this, so that was really fun. I'm just really pleased. I'm really happy. Yeah, I'll probably do like a copy edit thing at some point in a couple of weeks, and then I'm gonna print it out and I'm gonna bind it because I love doing that stuff. And even though it's not perfect, I think there's still gonna be like flaws in it. Like, I think I can still make it stronger. I'm not gonna call them flaws. I just think I can still make it stronger. But I think I'm just like really content with where it's ended up right now. So that's like so nice. It's like such a relief. So yay, I'm really pleased. I'm really hoping that the action scene, I think the action scene is much better than it was before, but I don't know. I don't know if it is better or not, but like I'm really pleased with it. So now it's just time to type it up. You know, which will take a while. I have about 10 pages to type up, but I did cross out like a fair bit. The action scene kind of, the issue with it and why it was like such a struggle to get done is because the action scene is like, it was just way too long going through it, and it didn't it didn't have the emotional weight that it needed to have for it to go on that long, right? Like if I'm going to have an action scene that spans that many like pages and that much time, there has to be a really good like emotional throughput for it. I don't think that's the right word. But like there has to be a really strong emotional like progression through the scene, right? It has to have like this really strong thread that like ties into other things, which this did not have. But it had like a smaller thread, so I adjusted the size of the action scene like accordingly to fit with that emotional thread, so it felt as like valuable as that. Also, I think this story is a lot less about like what like the action stuff, about like the actual big like the antagonist, even though they're not really an antagonist, because I think of antagonists as like characters that are antagonists throughout the entire story instead of just like their presence is felt even if you don't really like know that they exist, right? So it's a little weird, but regardless, it's done. I'm really pleased with it. I think it's really silly and really cute, and I really got to lean into a lot of just being silly, which is definitely not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it's mine, so I'm pleased with that. So that's it. This is the actual end of the vlog, so this is me ending it right here, because now that I finished this, we're gonna go and we're going to do other things. We're gonna make other progresses, we're gonna make other extensions, we're gonna do other writing things. Because this is done. Yay! Well, I'll probably show me binding it. Maybe we'll make like a cute little cover, just like a very silly thing. But yeah, I think it would be fun. Yay! Okay, have a wonderful day. Good night. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was a lot of fun. Also, daylight savings time. Always weird. Always an adjustment when it gets dark so early. But like, you know, such is life. It's nice when it's light early too, so I can't be too sad. But anyways, have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!